may seem like a very outgoing comedian, but inside right now I'm screaming, so. Just wanted to get that out there. Woo! All right. Just a boy, around 7 or 8 years old. He was raised to be mannered and behave, so he's told. No cursing on Sunday, his mama used to say. Daddy was in prison for a while, and Mama was gone for a while. He'd still sit there, and he'd lie awake. He'd lie awake through the hours as he still prayed to the Lord for his family's sake. He said, Lord, I'm tough. I've had all I can take. Oh, Lord, I'm a hero. Didn't you know? That's what you make. I'll have a promise to you and to me, and that'll make our darkest waters into the clearest of a lake. He took my mommy by the hand, he kissed her on the head, he said, I'll fix this broken land. So I sat there and I said, Lord, I'll be a legend, and for you, and for this world, but not for myself, I'll take a stand. I'll help to heal the lost and the wounded. I'll be here to lift the damned. Don't you think, Mama? Don't you believe? I have a story to be told, and a world of hurt to relieve. Now this young boy, he's all grown up, and he's a military man. He's been over the seas to Afghan, doing all that he can. He gets about 8 Dear John letters from his girl back home, in a little small town. He looks up to the sky, and he tells her, Sweetie, as I'm gone, remember me in your heart, but never look down, for that is where sadness comes. So as he tells her to never look down, he says, Oh, honey, and he wipes a tear from her face, that one single tear, the one little salt water that'd clear his darkest lake. He says to her, as he wipes that tear, turn upside right, that little frown. Hey, little girl, turn it upside right. Then she says, as he leaves, that she's having a baby boy tonight. He's fighting his best fight, doing only what he finds truly right. He sadly left a small boy at home. He's got a picture of her and his little boy, and he looked out to the sky. Same sky that we look at today. He holds up to his heart the photos as he began to cry. He says, My dear son, don't you fear sin. He says, no matter what I'm in, or where I'm in your heart, or where I'm held within, you, my dear boy, you are my hero to be. Oh, I know you don't know a lot about me now, and some things you might not ever want to know about me. I wish you could only see how much I love you, and 'tis to be. Oh, my dear son, take care of your mommy. The boy then goes outside to play ball the next noon. He sees a black car roll up, and mommy gently falls to her knees in the plush grass as a tear rolls down her face. He looks all with his surprise over to his mommy. He says, Mommy, why do you cry? His daddy's best friend looked him in the eyes, got on one knee. He shook his head and mumbled under his breath, with tears streaming down his face. Inside, you could hear him die, as he says, I'm so sorry, son. He gave me this letter, and here is your daddy's hat. It's all I could find. The boy took the hat, and he ran in the house, mad as shit, like he felt like he was nothing. He felt like a raging bull with fire coming from his eyes. He went into his daddy's office, and he slammed the glass vase off the counter that was held with roses and water to the ground as the glass shattered like his heart did too. He lived in a castle of glass broken by stones. He went in his daddy's office and pulled out a photo of his daddy, and him and his paw. Now the picture just seemed to be a paper of blue. The boy didn't know what to think, what to say, or what to do. He said, yelling at God, He believed in you. Why did you take my pa? Why'd you take my best friend? How could you do this to me? That night, when his mom fell asleep, he let go of her hand, and he ran across the park, and he ran 3 blocks down to the church where his daddy used to take him. He asked the pastor, "I'd like this to end." The pastor took the young man in a room full of benches, where there was an altar and a cross. He said, "Son, your daddy may be gone, but his soul ain't lost." The boy, now a man, and mama old and gone, he swore to his pa and ma, he knew the cost. He, now a man, himself, met himself, a woman, he had a baby girl with this woman, who also he loved so much more. You didn't know what right now he had in store for him. Neither did he. He got sent out to Iraq, the Iraq War. He gave his daughter before he left, and he did his depths. A kiss on the head and brushed away her tears that had swept, that she had crept, and that she had kept. He gave her a hat and a picture of his daddy and him when he was small, a picture of them where he must have been about 10. He gave her a letter from her daddy that he never got to send. His friend gave her a letter from her daddy that he never got to send then. He was then off to the plane. He never got home, but he didn't die in vain. She, a girl about 10, told her class that day, as she held up a picture, "This is my daddy, and he's my hero. He died for all of you." She said so proudly, looking up, not down. Notice as she looks up. She said, "He did all he could, and he did it for us too. Not just for me, but for you." So she put in her pocket the photo of him after she kisses his head, and in the pocket, that photo goes. She wipes away the tears in her eyes. Then she puts on her grandpa's hat and she says, "We all have our own heroes. But I know this, that I wish I would have then known, what I wish I would have known before telling you the story that so sadly is true. Well, that little girl isn't a little girl. That 3rd generation little girl, that was me. I was 10. I was a small boy. Didn't really know what was going on. But for all of us, it's not who we are or what we do now. It's not going to matter what we did then. But it's those who we don't see every day. It's those who we find invisible. It's those who feel invisible. It's those who just want to be invisible, that have the biggest heart and the most courage when they let it roar. Like the mighty lion. Oh, my daddy says to me, and as I say for my father now. Well, you want to know what my daddy was?